Podcast. A podcast about coins and coin collecting from the perspective of both dealers and collectors. Hosted by two guys with a passion for collecting and a combined experience of over 50 years in the coin industry. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nottleman on the Coin Show Podcast.
And this is episode 221 of the Coin Show Podcast. And we have a special guest tonight. So I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And this is Russ.
Hello.
Oh, boy. That's a feedback echo. And tonight on this episode of the Coin Show Podcast, we are going to have some fun. Russ has brought us the club scene.
As usual.
We are going to do a getting to be fiercely competitive segment of Coolest Thing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We have a quiz that we're going to spring on Matt.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I tried to warn you, dude.
I hate you all.
But first, as always, the news.
Okay. Mike, who's the news brought to us by?
The news is brought to us by bottled water. Let's face it, you always thought it'd be free until it wasn't. How do you like us now? Bottled water.
I love it. Oh, that's a good one.
So the annual Coin of the Year ceremony is coming to America.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Having been absent for the past 3 years due to the pandemic, the World Coin News is partnering with the ANA to bring the awards back to a live venue, and this year's ceremony will be held at the World's Fair Money in Pittsburgh.
This show just keeps getting better and better. I just keep seeing more things that happen for this show that I'm like, all right, I'm glad I'm going to be there.
Yes, the event is set for Wednesday, August 9th, so that'll be the Wednesday of the show. It's right after it opens.
Yep.
So you got to get there early for this one. But I mean, really.
Unfortunately, not going to be there, but maybe hopefully some of our Coin Show friends will be there and they can help document it.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what wins Coin of the Year. I mean, do you have anything that sticks out in your head for this year?
Oh, no. You know me. Modern stuff is not my forte, so it's always something that surprises me that wins Coin of the Year.
I'll tell you something that won't surprise you.
What's that?
The Death Toonie.
Death Toonie. That's true.
Right?
That's true. That's probably the one. I got to think you're...
Is this for 22 or for 23, though?
23.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. 40 years in post. I'm reading the story here.
Yeah.
No, 40th program will honor coins dated 2022 in 10 categories. So this is only for coins dated
Okay, so the
2022.
Death Toonie is next year.
Yeah, that'll be next year. No, so then I definitely have no idea. None.
Well, it's still the women on quarters, the American women quarters.
Yeah. I mean, or it could
Although
be
there was nothing really spectacular from last year. I like the Edith Kanaka Ole from this year.
Yeah, probably will get an honorable mention.
I like the Hovita Idar from this year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's my favorite one.
You guys are ganging up on me with you and your modernness.
It's the wave of the future, dude. Actually, it's the wave of the present.
I was gonna say. Well, that's cool though. That'll be fun. I unfortunately, because it is right after the show opens, I won't be able to go because I will be buried with people and dealers and stuff like that. But it'll be very interesting to at least hear because I'm sure we'll be able to hear or figure it out there fairly quickly.
A previously unknown $10 legal tender bison note will be offered as well in August this year.
Ooh, now this is pretty.
Yeah, so this note has been graded a grade 20 by PMG. But here's the thing that I think gets lost on people sometimes, and it really kind of got lost on me until I was exposed to it in the business.
What's that?
Well, okay, so this note was previously unknown. So Not just the $17.97 $10 gold piece that we bought last year,
Right.
sold last year,
Yeah.
but an entire collection of world coins and rare U.S. coins was also brought in to market, at our house, right?
Right. Right.
So these are coins that have been in private hands and many times stashed in safe deposit boxes, safes, other hiding spots, but most importantly, they've never been to market in the era of grading and third-party grading services.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny to think of when that happens?
Well,
we actually bought 2 collections like that last year, like stuff that had never, that had been tucked away since like the 80s. Is one of the collections, and then obviously, the collection that Mike and I talk about ad nauseum because it's really cool.
It's fascinating one. Yeah. But there was somebody who once told me that most everything that's higher end and of high value is already slammed. So it's like, yeah, it's already done.
Yeah.
And this note is proof that that's just not true.
Not everything, but a lot of it, yes.
I think there's a lot more out there that we just don't know about.
It's possible. It's definitely
That's
possible.
my opinion.
I mean, obviously, by the fact that this stuff keeps popping up, stuff that's been unknown before. Yeah, I mean, that's what keeps me going every day is the fact that I just never ever know what I'm going to see next.
Not to sound morbid, but I
Uh-oh.
think we're in a very sweet spot right now in our industry.
I know where you're going with this.
But I do too. It's not really morbid. It's just a reality.
It's a little morbid. You have a lot of
true.
the older collectors dying off. The guys that really made their bones before grading happened.
Yep.
Grading really started, where are we at, 40 years ago now?
Yep.
Guys like Mike's age.
Yeah, old guys. But so, those guys are going away and their relatives are getting rid of their stuff. And I think we're in a really kind of exciting time, to be really honest, because it's, there was the rush to grade everything. And a lot of people didn't buy into that. And then stuff has been forgotten. And I think that the next few years, I think we're probably going to see more of that stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you're probably fairly accurate with that.
One can hope.
In case anyone hasn't started thinking about Christmas yet,
I surely haven't.
The U.S. Mint has announced in June that this year's American Women Quarters ornaments will go on sale in August, just in time for last-minute shoppers.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah. So this year's ornaments once again feature all 5 designs and can be purchased separately or as a set of 5.
I still want to see those sales numbers from every year. I want to know how many of these they actually sell. It cannot be that many. Maybe I would be surprised. I don't know, but I gotta think it's not that many of these.
Okay, but think about it's not how, it's how many, right? Because, I mean, look at what it costs them to make these.
Oh, I get it. I mean, that's true.
What, about 80 cents total?
Not really, because there's a lot of R&D and a lot of tooling and stuff that has to get paid
that's
for
some
first.
Cost that goes away after a while.
Well, yeah, but it's still got to be paid for. It's production cost.
Sure. Okay, so a subscription, which is available going forward.
For the ornaments?
5 ornament set.
Oh, my gosh.
$175.
Wait, what?
A subscription going forward for the 5 ornament set.
Every year?
Every year going forward. It's not paid for in advance. That is every year $175.
No. Each
not
ornament is priced at $35. I wouldn't even pay $35 for all 5 of them.
That, again, so does
God
it
bless
matter
us,
how many
everyone.
they sell?
That is just
As long as they're selling some?
mind-boggling. My brain hurts after hearing that.
Yes. Well, what you really, and I think we are going to suffer with is the people that bought these that try and sell them.
We are steadily moving forward down the same path that stamps went on years ago. They're literally just making whatever they can make to try to sell, with no regard to the collector, with no regard to the secondary market, with no regard to what they charge people for these things. They just want to sell as many as possible, and it's not a great look forward for modern coinage and collecting of modern coinage, because what happened to modern stamps? They're dead. lick it and stick it. That's all it is these days. So in our industry, if we keep pushing things like this, we run the risk of having the exact same thing happen to all this stuff that the mint's pushing. So
I might differ with you only from this standpoint. It's money.
yeah, but okay, fine.
Postage
so
is
are stamps.
postage, but money is different, and money will always be necessary.
Yeah, but
If
Christmas
this was-
ornaments are definitely not necessary.
Well, no, they're not. There's no question about it. But I mean, if the mint was going to wreck coins by overproducing commemorative issues, they would have done it in the 50s,
no,
40s and 50s.
no way.
They would have already done it.
No,
With the Booker T's and the Washington Carvers.
What are you talking, buddy? I hate to disagree with you here, but you got to think about it where we are now compared to where we were back then. You got 1 or 2 commemoratives a year, maybe 3 back then. Nowadays we have 5 different commemorative quarters, 5 different commemorative dollars, 2 different commemorative silver coins, commemorative gold coins. I mean, it literally, the catalog just goes on and on and on, compared to what it was in the days of the classic commemorative halves. So I think we're definitely at a much different space than we were back in the 50s.
I think that marketing is definitely different. And yes, I think about it also from terms of Eliasberg, and what Eliasberg did is never even going to be possible anymore.
Well, no, of course not. No.
And it's because of this stuff.
Well, and right here, and it's really funny, right here is the crux of why I hate modern coinage. So there you go.
It sounds to me like you just hate the modern U.S. Mint.
Well, and
rightfully so.
Their job is to make coins, so I guess I hate modern coins too. Sorry, I know you like them. I don't.
No, I do. Jerk.
Sorry.
Eleanor Roosevelt is poised to be released to the public on Monday.
That thing is creepy. It's still so creepy.
I'd talk to you a little bit more about modern coins.
It's fine.
Roosevelt marks the 3rd design to be released this year in the American Women Orders program, not for her service as the longest tenured First Lady in U.S. history, but for her work as a human rights activist.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. You know, what she did was great, but man, that coin is just rough.
Well, I mean, it's, you know. Her work on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights with the United Nations is credited with inspiring and helping to pave the way for more than 70 human rights treaties around the world. So that's Eleanor. Second most famous Eleanor in the world.
Who's the first?
First in 1973 Mustang?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, it is.
All right. The most overpriced piece of overpriced bullion is now available.
So this is the burnished
uncirculated gold eagles went on sale June 1st for a mere, can you guess, Matt?
I'm not going to scroll down yet.
Hang on.
Let's see.
Wait, $3,000.
Burn it. Yeah, I'm gonna say $29.50.
Okay,
price is right.
$1.
$28.20.
See, there you go. I mean, that's
at a 1975 spot though.
That's like almost a $900 premium for
a
$900
$900 bump, and that is, oof.
Which are just slightly distinguishable from the regular issue pieces.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they have a W mint mark, right?
Yeah, they have a W mint mark, and truthfully, if you put them next to each other, you can tell, but barely.
Yeah, slightly.
The silver versions went on sale a week earlier. They're asking a mere $76.
$76 for the
silver one.
The silver burnished.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
On $23 silver.
Well, considering wholesale premiums on regular old bullion silver eagles are still $13.
Yeah, that's true. They've but still, I mean, even if you think about that, that's still like 3 times almost, maybe 2.5 times. Mm-hmm. That's crazy pants, man.
Yeah, they're not as expensive as the proofs.
Just barely.
Yeah. A vault box set is reported to have contained a 1995 Silver American Eagle superset.
So a 95.
Now, what is a 95
superset?
Eagle superset, you might ask?
I'm confused. Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
It's a 95 Eagle in MS10,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Go
a
ahead.
95P proof in MS10,
Okay.
a 95W proof in MS10.
Okay. So that's like the one that everybody was after. Gotcha.
So here's the question. Would you buy an MS10 for the same price as you would an MS70?
Well, I would buy it as an MS10 and then cross it back into a 70 holder and sell it
There you
as
go.
what it's
I'm in.
supposed to be.
So
know
you
what I'm
would
saying?
pay 70 money for an MS10.
I mean, they say they're the same thing. So if they're going to honor what they're telling me, then yeah, I guess so. You know?
Okay. I wanted
Less
to
the grading fees to get it back in a proper holder.
Yeah, unless a small profit. You know, I mean,
see. There you go.
I would
So
sell it.
the
I
answer
would
to that
sell it
question is
as
no.
a 70. I mean, in a 10 holder, I wouldn't want to buy it so much.
Right. So the answer is no.
I mean, but it
doesn't have the value of the same coin in a 70 holder.
I believe that they're equal. They should be equal.
The coins should be equal, but people are stupid, and because people are stupid, the plastic matters.
Hello, I am people.
You know, it's just it. I'm not gonna go on another rant. I've been ranting
go
too
for
much
it.
tonight.
Hey,
nope,
instead of me doing
negative.
it,
Nope.
Well, I will rant.
Go for it.
In place of
Go
Matt.
for it, Russ, please.
The plastic only matters because it's stupid plastic, and I don't want it in an MS10. I'm sorry if you love the vault box, if you love the whole MS10 gimmick thing. Like, I apologize, but I hate it. And as long as NGC would cross it back to a proper
70, yeah.
proof 70 holder, then fine. But I'm not buying a proof 10.
No.
You know, I'm not going to keep it in that holder. I think that's just absurd. I think the whole thing
just
is.
wonder what their guarantee would be. If you said
That's
it
a very
to
good
them and
question.
just ask them, would you cross this, and what would you charge me to cross it? Because there shouldn't be any grading involved. Again,
they should just cross it.
on what is the difference.
I would-
because either they'll immediately cross it as a 70.
No, because on crossovers,
they hold it as different.
crossovers, you have to pay them a percentage.
Mm.
So I would
true.
send it in for a reholder. And just write 70 in Sharpie right on the front of the slab.
Yeah, ask him to grade it correctly and send it back.
Yeah, I would just write, and I do that on slabs when they screw something up. I'll take a Sharpie and just literally write on the front of the slab what is wrong with it, like the wrong mint mark. Like I sent one back today. It was a Hungarian coin for a customer, and they missed the attribution completely. They attributed it as the wrong thing. So I literally wrote the right attribution on the plastic and then threw it back in the mail to them.
Nice.
So,
and while this is not a new release, an updated release of Bauer's guidebook of seeded Liberty coins is soon to be available, as well as the Gentlemen Start Your Engines that Russ has got going on right now, because he's getting excited, I know.
Okay, look. The book is fine. If you're dipping your toe into the Seed of Liberty series, I have a copy. It's actually on my bookshelf back here. I have one. It is not comprehensive. If you're
it has
if
a
you're
lot to cover to be comprehensive.
it does have a lot, but I don't
only
know. That's kind of
608
the
pages,
problem I have
man.
with those. Is that they kind of imply that they're comprehensive, and I mean, again, I'm a super nerd, you know, so for 95% of the population that wants to collect Seed of Liberty stuff, it's totally fine. Totally fine. It's just, you know, the 5% of us that, you know, have a tattoo of, you know, Liberty seeded. It's not quite enough.
oh boy, you know what though? I heard something today that was rather interesting.
Do tell.
As far as new books are coming, do you boys realize that the new Cherry Pickers Guide will be available at the ANA?
Yes.
I have to pick up a copy.
As will this coin.
As will
As
this
will
book.
this second edition of this book.
Yeah.
Be available for purchase in Pittsburgh at the World's Fair Money.
And then obviously from Whitman.com.
Yeah, or at Whitman.com. But they are kind of they're touting the fact that it will be available at Pittsburgh.
I think we'll have to get Dennis back on before the show. Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe we'll hang out with him at the show. I don't know yet.
Florida has become a bit more coin dealer friendly. And I was completely aware of this problem until I started working in a shop.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun one.
So for those who are unfamiliar, secondhand dealer licenses are very common among coin dealers, basically because we're going to buy stuff and we're going to resell it. We're going to buy a coin and we're going to resell it. That makes us a secondhand dealer. And there are different, rules that we have to abide by and stuff like that. Speaking to, my particular shop, our shop in the city of Chicago, if we take in anything other than a coin, something that is literally identifiable, if it's jewelry of any kind, anything that is not coin or currency, we have to list it on this website, and then we have to hold it for 30 days. And at any time during that, that 30 days, the police can come in, tell us it's stolen, and they just take it.
That's right.
And so because of that, I mean, we just really don't deal in that stuff anymore. But this kind of stuff is really starting to affect.
30 days is a long time. Ours is 10, and it still sucks.
With the volatility of gold, particularly.
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying. You buy a gold ring, you can't do anything with it for 30 days. The market could fall $500 in 30 days,
Right.
That's the problem with that. And then, so it makes it hard to be competitive with the market because you have to try to predict the future market in 30 days. And
it makes it hard to buy things. It particularly makes it disparaging to buy things, and you just leave it to the jewelers.
Right. And the way Indiana's is really strange. Theirs is written that if you buy anything that is not your primary business focus. So like if you're a coin store, we're a coin store. If we buy anything that is not coins, it is subject to that regulation, no matter what it is. So it's weird. But yeah, it looks like Florida, the story says that Florida is removing bullion from the secondhand goods regulations, which is great for those guys because of what we just talked about. Having to hold bullion for 30 days, I couldn't imagine. That would be terrible.
I don't know how anybody could do it.
Identify your gold coin any place. You can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't.
I mean, all I can think about is, situations where I've been in where it's like somebody walks in with 200 ounces of gold and then having to hold that. I'd have a heart attack. I'd die.
With the possibility of the cops just coming and taking it.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much the cops. That is a rare thing. I mean, I don't know how much you guys have to deal with it. It is actually a rare thing for us because we do the scrap gold, the jewelry. It happens maybe one time a year where the police come in looking for it. So it's not as terrible as it sounds, but the much bigger problem would be the market changing over that hold period for sure.
Yes, in large amounts in particular.
Oh yeah, good Lord, that's terrible. But I'm glad they're getting it fixed. Good job.
Our next story, I'm dumbfounded.
I saw this too.
What is the world coming to? Counterfeit 40% Kennedy halves.
This is this has got to be one of those because they can type situations. I can't think of any other good reason to do this.
I have a theory.
Okay, what's your theory, please?
All right, so these were submitted to PCGS Hong Kong, and these coins aren't made from the correct composition. I wonder if the counterfeiters set them to kind of get a read on.
Could be a test run for other things, yeah.
Yes.
That's probably as close to an accurate estimation as to what's going on here as you could come up with. I think you're probably right.
Do you want to hear mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I think the counterfeiters are just as misled, or I don't want to say dumb, but as misled as a lot of the general public.
I'll say dumb.
They're counterfeiters. They're Chinese counterfeiters. They aren't necessarily aware of what is actually a rare coin. They're in a business of making a product. And when you have so much clickbait, how many people do we have come in the shop Mike, with $50 that go, surely these are rare because I've never seen one.
Yeah. Well, but
my favorite is the people asking for us to look through their 1982 pennies.
And normally I would agree with you there because, the counterfeiters are misled. They do tend to make some weird stuff, but that stuff is almost always instantly like one looker type fake stuff that you can look at and be like, okay, yep, that's fake. Especially, like somebody that does this every day like we do. You get those fakes, just like, okay, this coin's fake, sorry, this coin's fake, sorry. This coin is not that. This coin is, it's a pretty darn good fake. If you showed me this coin and didn't tell me that it didn't have the right composition, I'd look at that coin and be like, kind of looks like a junky strike, but other than that, I don't really see anything wrong with it. Like that's what I see in that coin. So
there's always the possibility, as remote as it would be. I have a couple fake like Susie B's. I have a couple fake Kennedys in our reference collection too.
Right.
They're cast, so they're not good.
I have a fake. I have a
good though.
This is struck.
But
yeah, sure.
Depending on what's the profit margin on fake Kennedy halves is the question. Contemporary counterfeiters, if they made, so the contemporary counterfeiters that made the small O Morgans,
yeah,
they were working on small margins. They had more. They were working off sterling, so they were putting in more silver than was required to be the same content, and they were only making about 10 cents a coin.
Yeah,
and that's
like these guys, they melt at $3. So
right.
It's if your cost to produce is 25 cents or whatever, then I see why. But man, it's actually a decent looking like fake. A lot of times the fakes are pretty.
Fake.
Yeah, the fakes are pretty like okay. This is fake. Sorry, but that one that's a little scary. So, yikes.
Yeah, if they were to make that into a proof, I think they might have been better off.
No, it's really squishy. The details on the reverse are pretty soft in the shield and the bird. It's fairly soft, but and then the hair is pretty soft as well. But other than that, like the
circulated proof.
Okay. Yeah, but the details, the details are there. The details are right on. They're like a lot of times also I catch myself when I'm looking at fake coins, something just isn't quite right with the design, whether it's the face.
Yeah, there's just a look to it that you look at it and you're like, there's a proportion or something that's off.
Right.
I can't quite nail it down, but I know there's something.
I can't do that with this coin. So that's the scary part.
Right. Yeah, if you weren't told which one was the fake, looking at these two coins, you'd have a hard time figuring it out.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's scary, my friends.
Yeah. So some Americans know, and some Americans don't know.
Oh my gosh.
About Vegemite.
This is insanity, and I love it. Those crazy Aussies made a Vegemite coin.
So be it from a Men at Work hit from the 90s, or a trip down under, or just knowing a few Aussies online.
Or coming from a land down under.
There you go. Colin Hay has a great voice. So the spread has carved a very unique place in Aussie culture. And not only this coin, but the next slide.
Oh, boy.
Has two different coins celebrating the centenary, however you want to pronounce it, of Vegemite.
So the first one had a jar of Vegemite on it, and the second one has a Vegemite sandwich on it, and underneath it says, "Tastes like Australia."
Tastes like Australia. The first one says 100 mighty years, mate.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Well, okay, so here's the thing that I hear most often about Vegemite is Americans going to try it for the first time.
Yeah.
And don't realize that it's something that you kind of you butter the bread and then you put just a real thin layer of Vegemite on it.
It's a spread. It's not a jam or a jelly.
Yeah, it's not peanut butter.
If any of our friends are Australian, cover your ears. You need to remember that Australia is a continent that is full of the descendants of prisoners.
Yes, criminals.
We
It's prison food, Mike.
Yes, I know. And no, we don't have any listeners down in
we probably have one or two, but still.
Yeah, but
Oh man,
but we like them.
we like 'em all.
Please direct your hate mail to Michael Nodelman, 31 North Clark.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, but I like the fact that they did this on a $2 coin.
I see. They
have a death. They have a death one. You know,
I see next year coin of the year candidate right here, the Vegemite coin series. I love it.
I absolutely think so. So
I love it. That's amazing.
Like slice of Vegemite toast with the words "Tastes like Australia."
Oh man, can you imagine being in the boardroom with all the Australian guys when they pitched the idea of a Vegemite coin? Couldn't you be like?
I've seen some of the stuff they put on coins. Yeah, I have no issue seeing that from mind's eye.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Good
We need a
idea.
Crocodile Dundee coin next.
So in our chat, Live Coin Q&A is asking, and hi to everybody, because we were talking to him at first. Yes, Vegemite is a yeast paste. That's exactly what it is.
That just sounds unappetizing. Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, peanut butter
paste
doesn't exactly sound yummy either.
Yummy
peanuts,
yeast
good. Butter, good. Put them together, real good.
yeast, nah. Paste, no.
Good for beer.
I don't even want to tell you what. Yeah, no, I don't even want to go there. And finally, in the news, so Coin Week has published an article on collecting toonies.
Toonies, okay, $2 Canadian
and
coins.
I think that this is a really cool way of collecting a modern coin, right?
You lost me.
Because you have the test tokens that are available. You have the regular, $2 polar bear. There was one that they made the first year that was silver proof and gold by metal.
I remember that.
And now you have the death toonie. There was the one for the creation of Nunavut.
Yeah, I mean, and then we had. Didn't we have that
2 anniversary toonies?
There's a bunch of different ones. I mean, yeah, I could see collecting that series. That'd be okay.
It would be fun. It would be different and challenging because of things like the test token. That's not something you're going to find every place.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, that'd be a fun series. I think it'd be fun.
Well, I just have a penchant for odd things from America's hat.
I love it.
Russ says nothing.
That's okay.
You know me. I don't trust Canadians.
That's right.
He also thinks birds are.
Oh,
birds aren't real.
You're one of those people that don't think birds are real?
Yeah.
Birds are absolutely fake.
Is the Earth flat too? Did we never go to space? Is the moon made of cheese?
The moon is it's okay. So the moon is made of Swiss cheese, which is why there's holes in it. It's a Swiss conspiracy, is what it is. If you want to talk about this later, you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. So the news is brought to us tonight by Bottled Water. Let's face it, you always thought it'd be free until it wasn't. How do you like us now? Bottled water.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
I laughed really hard during that news segment. That was fun. That was a good one.
That is the whole point. It's always the point.
I love that one.
So another thing that we like to laugh at is when we ambush Matt with quizzes. And, here's the thing. I have already taken this quiz.
Okay.
So I was ambushed with the exact same quiz by our unnamed source.
Okay.
So there's a score that you have that we can compare the two.
Okay.
And this is, it's a little late, but, that's the way we get to things.
Why do you not like me?
I love you like a brother, dude.
Okay, well, you got a funny way of showing it.
So this is a Mother's Day quiz.
Oh, boy.
With Father's Day coming up just around the corner.
Yep.
And we have some questions. This is typically about women.
Okay.
10 questions.
Okay.
All right.
I can do this.
Are you ready?
I'm going to give it a shot.
All right. Question 1. Russ, you want to play along?
I'm also biased. Remember, I was in the vehicle when this quiz was happening.
Oh, that's true. You've heard it. All right. So, question 1.
Yes.
What was the last coin to be put into circulation by the U.S. Mint, which featured Lady Liberty?
Put into circulation by the U.S.
Yes.
Mint? Okay.
Yeah.
That featured Lady Liberty. Would
Lady-
that be the New York quarter with the Statue of Liberty?
I am going to give you a point for that, but it is not really what the question is asking.
Okay. Well, did
They're
I
talking about
misinterpret it?
Liberty being the main theme of the
Oh, the main
Not-
theme of the coin.
yeah,
not
it's
an
as an
allegory
allegory.
of
Right.
Liberty. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to say, let's see, Stand of Liberty quarter was 30 piece dollar. I'm gonna say Walking Liberty half 45. I'm gonna say that we're going to go with the Walking Liberty half dollar.
Ding, 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 ding. That's correct anyway. So,
Yep.
point for Matt.
Thank you.
Question 2.
Okay.
The first and currently last time a woman was honored on the front of a United States federal paper money was when, who, and on what note?
Martha Washington.
Okay.
On I forget the date. Is it 1886 series $1 note?
Wow. Ding, 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 ding. That is 3 parts correct.
Thank you.
I got 1 part correct.
Well. I forgot
Well,
the
that's
series.
good.
I'm glad I remember the series, but
Who were the first 3 non-allegorical women to appear on circulating U.S. coins, and in what years?
First 3 non-allegorical women. Well, Susan B. Anthony was one of them. I'm not sure if she was the first,
Correct.
though. That started in 1979.
That's correct.
I don't think any women made it on the commemorative half series, so I don't think we're.
Well,
gonna
we're
go.
talking circulating, so commemoratives
Okay,
don't count.
I'm sorry. You got to make sure I because I'm going to go with all of it.
That's
here.
why I stopped you with that.
Okay,
So,
so circulating.
once you get to the Eunice Kennedy Shriver and all that shit.
Yeah. That's where I was going to start going. So we have 79 with Susan B. Anthony. Then we have circulating coinage. I'm trying to think through the state quarter series. I don't think it was on any of the state quarters other than, and then you get into where I stop caring. So I'm going to just pass on the other 2.
Okay,
Unless I
so
missed
we're
one.
going to give you 1 out of 3 on that
Okay.
one.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so who's on our current dollar coin?
Oh, Sacagawea. Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 2.
Yeah.
And number 3 was Helen Keller.
Oh, was on
Here's on
the
the
state quarter.
2003 Alabama quarter.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so we all enjoy a trip to the Bourse floor of a coin show, but from what country do we take the word Bourse? Bonus point if you know what it means in English.
Bourse. It sounds like a French word for browse.
Okay, so you get 1 point out of 2.
Okay.
It is French for purse.
Purse. Okay. Did you know that one?
I did. I took French.
I did not.
Ooh la la.
Who was the first non-mythical woman to appear on U.S. paper money? And if you need a clue, I can give it to you.
The first non-mythical woman to appear on U.S. paper money.
Right.
Was it Martha Washington again?
No.
Huh. I'll take the clue, I guess. Can I have the clue? One more
It
time.
was issued in 1865.
1865. Huh. I'm thinking through the 1865 series, and I just can't. Nope. I guess I'm going to have to pass on that one.
Pocahontas was depicted on the back of the $20 bill.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So Pocahontas wasn't actually the first non-allegorical female to be depicted on paper money issued within the 50 states. What kind of currency was this person portrayed on?
Okay, wait a minute. You said Pocahontas was the first in 1865, but she was not the first
to appear on U.S. paper money. That's correct.
Okay, but she was not
But
the
she wasn't
first.
the first non-allegorical female to be depicted on paper money issued within the 50 states.
Oh, so I bet it
what
was
kind of currency was she portrayed on?
Confederate currency.
Walk away, Dixieland.
Yep, Confederate currency. I remember that note. It's a $100 note.
As a matter of fact, it is. It is. Let's see. Lucy Holcomb Pickens was portrayed on Confederate bills from 1862 to 1864. She was nicknamed the Queen of the Confederacy. So yes, that's a $100 Confederate note. Question 7. Name any of the classic commemoratives that depicts a female other than Queen Isabella.
Other than Isabella, wow.
He took away the layup.
No, that's fine. That's a good. That's probably smart because man, trying to run through all the ones that actually have people on them. No. Nope, I can't remember that one. That's a tough one.
Okay. So there was a 37 Roanoke Colony $50, 1936 Elgin Centennial $50.
Okay.
And some of the Panama Pacific Exposition commemoratives feature Minerva and Columbia.
Yeah. There's another one too, actually, now that you mention it.
But Minerva and Columbia, I would argue on these are actually allegories.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of the 2.5 pan pack has Minerva or whoever it is riding a hippocamp. So
yeah, no, they have the dolphins and stuff. I mean, they're great coins.
I love them, but yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, I didn't get any of them either. Which noted American sculptor was the first woman to design a U.S. commemorative coin? Most famously, she designed the 1921 Alabama $50, the 1922 Grant gold dollar and $50, and the 1925 Fort Vancouver Centennial $50. She also co-designed the stunning 1926 Oregon Trail $50 with her husband.
I'm going to say Laura Garden Fraser.
That's correct. Number 9.
You got that one.
Who was the first female to appear on Bank of England notes starting in 1778?
1778. Wow.
First female to appear on Bank of England notes starting in 1778.
Well, if you didn't give me that date, I would have guessed Victoria because she was around forever and she was on everything. But it can't be her. That's too old. So 1778 would. That's the 1500s for Elizabeth. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know my English history that well. So who do we got?
We have Britannia.
Britannia. Oh, okay.
Again, in allegories.
Cool. I was thinking of
the question, but
yeah.
Cool.
I'll file a protest.
And finally, Lady Liberty is featured on probably the greatest coin design ever made, the Augustus St. Gaudens Double Eagle. Mm-hmm. What is Liberty holding in each of her hands?
So in one hand she has a torch, and in the other hand I think it's a bundle. No. Is it a tablet? Is a torch in a tablet? What's in the other hand? I got the torch.
An olive branch.
An olive branch. Okay, yeah. There you
go. Typical.
I was thinking of Moses and the 10 Commandments.
Well, you were also thinking, the 15. I mean, 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you were thinking of the Statue of Liberty, who has a torch.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, happy Mother's Day to Sarah, Candy, and Ginny. Special thank you for your support of us, our families, and the show. So, that was a Mother's Day quiz around Father's Day. That was just because we could.
So who won? How we need to get the rankings?
We did roughly the same.
Well, that's fine. But how did everybody else do? I mean, everybody took this, right? Or was it just you and me?
It was just you and me.
Oh, well, then we'll just call it a tie.
Yeah. No,
That's
and
handy.
it was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
You're welcome.
Well,
So, we have coolest thing,
we do.
but first,
we get to bust it out. Here it comes. The club scene. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. We're here.
It's too much.
Whew. Need a drink
All
after
right,
that.
on another rousing episode of the club scene. So I think the biggest thing that we need to talk about with the club scene is we
Yeah.
are now officially in summer,
Yes.
which means World's Fair of Money is coming up. Let's see, August 8th through the 12th, obviously in Pittsburgh. We talked about that a little bit. Again, if you haven't been to a giant show like this, like I already harped on about Central States, I'm not going to go and keep beating you up about it. But if you have the means to get to the World's Fair of Money, you need to get to the World's Fair of Money. And you really need to check out all of the clubs that are going to be there. I already took a peek. My favorite club, obviously, the Liberty City Collectors Club, will be there. And you should check them out. They also have like the Barber Collectors Club. One that I really am looking to highlight in the next little bit is the Token and Metal Society.
Tams, those guys are
Tams.
killing it.
Yeah.
I joined recently, so that's
there you go. Yeah. So that's something that I've been meaning to do because I'm kind of doing a lot of exonumia lately. And it's absolutely fascinating. And those guys know their stuff. So Tam's another great resource.
I'll stop you just for 1 second about those
Yeah.
guys. Mike, did you join too? I think we both did, didn't we?
I don't know if I did or not. I know I've been meaning to, but those guys really do know their stuff.
So
they have to for the stuff that they deal with.
Right. So when I joined, part of my my dues that I paid, you actually get a choice of free book from those guys, and I got a book about Brian money that I didn't have, and they mailed it to me, and you get a really cool. And they put out a heck of a newsletter. It is high quality. It's basically a magazine. So I really am enjoying my membership in that club. So if you like tokens and metals, think about joining those guys.
So speaking of joining things, I want to talk a little bit about the ANA because Mike Nodelman and myself recently became life members finally of the ANA.
Heck yeah, good job, guys.
Did we con our boss into paying for it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Are we still life members?
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the big perks of being a life member, obviously, is that you don't ever have to pay dues anymore. And it's actually very reasonable if you do a digital subscription. I don't do a physical subscription for most anything anymore because it's just not, I don't really need to. And if you're under 55 for the ANA, it's only $800. And, $800, you're like, oh, that's kind of a lot. But you have to remember that that's lifetime. You're never paying dues again. You get a fancy membership card. You can pick an LM number, or you can keep your old number.
You get a plaque.
Really, a lot of perks for it. Yeah, you'll get. I think it's a medal now, if I remember right. If I remember what they were telling us, but I have had a few beers since then, so I couldn't swear to it.
Yeah.
But if you're over 55, it's only $600. So a little bit better deal, but really, again, it's like if you're not a member of the ANA, you're doing something wrong because I mean they're the biggest organization, in the country for a reason. I don't like to toot my own horn, but the quality of the articles in the Numismatists are just tremendous. You should definitely go check that out.
They're better than your average internet article for sure, and they're definitely more in depth.
Didn't you write an article for those guys, Russ? Is that what
he did?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I did. Interesting.
It was fascinating.
It was.
But ANA membership, there are a lot of other perks too. You have the summer seminar. You have all the copies of the Numismatist and all the access to all the courses online. things like that. You'll never have to pay to get into the World's Fair of Money again. There are a lot of advantages to having a life membership. And, if you go with the digital one, which relatively speaking is relatively cheap, um, you're going to have access to virtually everything that you need online.
And as they digitize their library more, you'll have access to all of that as well. So,
and of course, if you're ever in Colorado Springs, not for summer seminar, the A&A Museum is fabulous.
there you go.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do sans the Harry Bass collection, but I have full faith that they'll put something
I'll report
equally
back on that.
interesting.
Yeah. That's I was gonna say that's probably something else we need to talk about too tonight, isn't it? Summer seminars coming up.
Yes.
Summer seminar is coming up. So I will let Mike talk about summer seminar because I'm not attending. I have to work. Somebody has to actually make the money to.
Somebody has to hold
Mike.
down the fort.
Yeah. So the last thing that I will say about the club scene is, again, go to your local clubs. Because, so for example, my local club, one of them, we've started a new program. We've actually started a coin exchange. So we're going to meet a little bit earlier, and we're going to start with kind of just common stuff. I have an album of like Kennedy halves that, you just kind of randomly get. And I don't really go searching for that stuff, but we're going to do an exchange for modern stuff. So you can, bring what you have and, swap between everybody. It's kind of like a swap meet more than anything, but it's just another way to get people in the door, get stuff done, do things for the benefit of the club. And that's what's great, again, about local clubs is it's other collectors just like yourself trying to do the exact same things with more knowledge than you, with less knowledge than you. And it's just super fun. So there's always things to do at local clubs. If you don't know if you have a local club, you can check out the American Numismatic Association, like we've been talking about, and they have a club finder. So definitely check them out. And the last thing I'll say about local clubs is one of the things that ANA also does is they have a district representative program. I am a district rep for this part of Indiana. And basically what that means is I liaise with local clubs and I try to make things happen between the ANA and local clubs because the ANA supports local clubs. So if you don't know, see if you can find your district rep and they can definitely help you out.
And
Cool.
for those of you who heard the idea of the coin swap and think, well, that's they're never going to swap the kind of stuff that I collect. Well, here's a challenge to you. Then try collecting something else that would be involved in that swap. Try collecting something that's kind of modern and new, and you might just find something you enjoy. Like, for example, one of the things that I took on was trying to put together a set of innovation dollars. Now, it's like, do I think it's a great program? No, but it's fun, and they're not available every place. So now I actively look for them, and I look at what the designs are, and is it the core of my collecting? Absolutely not. But is it fun? Sure. And that's exactly what it should be. That'll get you to know your fellow club members, and that's what it's really all about.
Heck yeah.
That kind of stuff I consider it a side project. I probably have like 5 Dansko albums of stuff that like I don't seriously collect. But I'm a very serious collector of one series, and my coins can cost me in excess of $4,000 or $5,000 right now. So it's really nice to have what I call like low stress sets. Like filling up a Lincoln book is really, really cathartic when you're trying to put together something that's the best.
It's like Sudoku for coin nerds.
Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, that's a really good analogy. It's Sudoku for coin nerds. Yeah. Filling holes in a Dansko it hits different. So, yeah, I'm not a big modern guy, but you know what? It's fun. So yeah.
And there's a million ways to do it.
Nice. Thanks, Russ.
So, anything else for us, Russ?
That is the conclusion of the club scene. I will say in August, I do have a plan to hit a lot of the club booths and bring you guys back a report on those guys and hopefully do 30-second, minute-long interviews about what they're all about, and kind of hopefully we can boost them a little bit. We can learn more about them, because if there's a club that sounds interesting, I'll join it. It's clubs are one of the best repositories in our industry, in our hobby, for information, because again, we're weird. We're not academics. The academia will never claim us, but we're giant nerds. So we fit in this weird spot, and really this is a collector driven, this is a novice amateur driven hobby. And so that's why clubs are so important, because without them, we're all just a bunch of guys that stare at money, So
That's true. That's true. I love it. I love it.
It's like I always say every episode about this. It's like without the listeners, doing this would be pointless. Something that was mentioned while we're still on the club scene in the chat that we did miss is that if you're a member of the ANA, a life member, you get to vote every 2 years for the leadership. And there is currently an election going on.
Yep.
We mentioned it last show. I'll mention it again now. Matt and I, this is as political as we ever get. We really don't care who you vote for. All we want you to do is vote.
Yep, that's right. That is right. Well, thank you so much, Russ. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
I love having you on and talking about clubs. That's great.
it was a good time.
Love it.
Always makes a nice buffer before he gets his rear end handed to him.
Whatever, dude. Russ, you might want to cover your eyes because I'm
Overly-
about to destroy Mike.
In an overly competitive game of
Next time I'm on, I want to play too.
Okay. Oh, did you hear that? Russ is bringing it.
Well, the problem is that I work in the shop that he does, so whatever walks into my shop walks into his.
You guys will have to fight for it then. All right, here we go. I'm pressing the button.
He likes that idea.
And
too
now
much.
for the coolest thing to walk in this week. A competition segment between Matt and Mike to see who's had the coolest thing walk into their shops. Who'll win this episode? Let's find out. Matt? Mike? Who's got the coolest thing?
All right, you're going first this time. You made me go first like the last 2 times.
I allowed you to go first because I figured it'd just be a better time for you. But okay.
Here you go. Yours is up.
Okay. Let's take a look at it. All right. So my coolest thing that I brought.
Do you even remember?
No.
What? You don't remember what you brought
And
for
I
the
do,
coolest
but-
thing?
I don't.
Well, do you need me to do it for you?
No. Okay. So this is something that came across my desk, and it was just really, really different. I see a lot of mint medals. I see a lot of souvenir sets, odd combinations of things that are mint produced to come across your desk. But in 1981, the United States Mint, the Bureau of the Mint, made a souvenir for the American Numismatic Association 90th anniversary convention in New Orleans.
Okay.
So what they did was they produced a set of mint medals from the New Orleans Mint. So one is actually, it's really more of a customs house medal. It is the smaller of the 2 medals because the New Orleans Mint stopped being a federal mint in 1931, which a lot of people don't even realize. But it was a customs house back in the 1840s and all the way up into the Civil War.
I didn't
So
know
this
that.
has a customs house medal or medallion and a New Orleans Mint medallion. And honestly, the New Orleans Mint medallion is what I'm kind of after. If you look, it has the same obverse design as a Philadelphia Mint medal or a Denver Mint medal with the eagle and the United States behind it. But this one is from the New Orleans Mint. It just doesn't get any cooler than that.
That's pretty cool. The coolest part that it's signed by the director. It was a gift.
Well, mine is not. I actually just kind of grabbed that as a stock photo.
Oh, okay. So you were padding. You were sandbagging me. I got you.
No. I have the original
I'm
right
just messing
here.
with you.
No.
I don't care because I'm still gonna slay you with this.
We'll see.
If you guys pay attention to the shorts that I make, you will recognize these 2 notes. These 2 notes came in my office the other day. They are an 1899 $1 Black Eagle silver certificate graded by PCGS as a 64. The second note is a 1917 $1 note, all graded by PCGS as 63 PPQ. The reason that I have both of these notes up together is because of the serial numbers. The Black Eagle has a serial number of H111A, and the 1917 $1 note has a serial number of M111A. So, super cool notes. I don't even know how somebody would collect these together. The odds of that happening, having the same serial number, now not exactly the same, of course, with the prefix, but having the exact same serial number on notes that were issued 20 or so years apart, pretty stinking cool. I wanted to show you guys these. They were by far the coolest thing I've bought in months, but I wanted to bring them tonight and show you guys. So that is my coolest thing. I'm sorry, Mike.
Now these are cool. No, you shouldn't be sorry just for bringing this. It's okay. It's a really cool thing. So these are cool mostly from the standpoint of, look, when you have low serial number bills, they carry a really high premium when they're single digit or double digit. But when you get into that third digit, that's when they start, because there's 1,000 of them, or there's there's 900 of them, because there's 100 of the others, but there's 900 of them. And so that's a pretty big population for every single note that comes out. So they're not as valuable. So if you were going to chase matching serial numbers, this wouldn't be as bad as like trying to chase number one.
It is, not number one, of course, but these are also what they consider solid serial numbers as well. Now they may not be very large serial numbers, but they are what they consider solids. So,
well, yeah, because there's no zeros.
Yeah, it's all the exact same digit
as it went.
So
these are they're definitely cool. Russ, do you want to play with the just the thought of that Black Eagle note that we took in this week?
You were reading my mind, because I was going to ask if I could put an honorable mention.
Well, I don't have a picture of it. I can't. I don't want to let.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to paint a picture.
Paint a mental picture. I'm going to bring it back to us here real quick. Hold on. Let me just get back to us. Paint, if you will, a mental picture for everybody listening.
Picasso of the mental picture.
All right. So it's your standard Black Eagle note that comes in a small collection. It's pretty ratty. It's probably like maybe a VG. But we turned it over, and what's cool is there's writing on it in pencil.
Okay.
And the writing, we can't quite make out the entire name, but it's what was the name? Hereford?
Hereford, yes.
Yeah. I can't even remember the man's first name now, and I feel terrible.
Just call him Timothy. Timothy Hereford.
We're gonna say Michael. Michael Hereford died 3/18/18 at 1:50 o'clock Monday morning. Now,
that's all.
As a military guy, here's what's interesting to me. Yeah. On the 15th of March, 1918 is when the first U.S. offensive of World War I started.
Yep. That very well could have been in that soldier's pocket and or in his possession. Very cool.
That is my guess, is that it's not a short snorter, because that's a World War II thing. But it might be the precursor of a short snorter. Yeah. So unfortunately, I've been trying to do.
Yeah, maybe maybe he was killed.
Toe tag of sorts.
Maybe he was killed in action, and that was in the things that were sent home, and his family notated it. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but definitely
it could be a lot of different things written down and stuffed into his pocket while the corpse laid there waiting to be.
That's a little morbid. I think more.
It's very true.
How it happens.
Yeah. So I've been trying to do the research on it. Unfortunately, in the 70s, the National Archives burned down, and it destroyed a lot of military records. And I know how to look for that stuff, and it hasn't been very fast going. But I'm going to keep working because I think it's an amazing. Regardless, it's we see a lot of you see a lot of large size bills, especially like a lot of Black Eagles, and so it's like seeing like a VG. You're kind of like, but this one, like, it hasn't left my
pencil on it, and you're like,
that's cool. That's really cool.
Right. Until you read the message. So that's my coolest thing that you can't actually see.
Honorable mention. I'm down with that. So,
yes. So,
well, friends,
we have some problems with the National Archives.
They're on fire.
They didn't send their best.
All right. So, if you've listened this far, then you have been hanging around until the very end.
Yes.
And I'm gonna spring something because this is
Uh-oh.
something that Matt doesn't
I
know anything about.
news to me. Let's go.
You were asking for ideas the other day,
Yeah.
and here's an idea that I've got.
Okay.
So, I was thinking about a virtual coin club
Okay.
meeting at midnight on Saturday nights,
Midnight on Saturday night.
and just getting together and hanging out in a Discord server.
The
And just doing what we
time.
do.
I'm
Is-
old.
I like everything minus midnight because Russell is asleep by
Yeah,
then.
me too.
Well, we got to figure out a time.
Okay. Everything
We could
you said.
do a virtual coin club.
Okay. I think
Where-
that's a thing.
We get to do all the things that coin clubs do. And it's for all the people that can't make it to a coin club. That
That's a
can't get to one. They
Boom.
can't.
I like it. Let's do it. You know what? I say we do it every other week.
Hey, Russ,
Yes.
you want to do that?
Yes, but I'm going to give you the full coin club experience, and I am going to have an hour of new business that no one cares about.
No, can new business just be like a document somewhere, like saved in a Google Drive?
That's a Google
Nope.
Doc.
Nope, sorry.
Okay, so yes,
Oh.
you have my promise that I'll wreck it in just those ways, and you know me, Matt. I will.
Oh my gosh.
So, okay, that's perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was the thing, and I wanted to wait till the hardcore people were the only ones that were left
I love that idea.
because
love that
those are the
idea.
guys that I want in that club.
I love that idea. No, that's a great idea. We're gonna do it. It's done. Consider it complete.
All right, so we want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up. We didn't really get to take too much of a chance to say hello to everybody. We should have.
Hang out after we're done.
Yeah, you can hang out for a little bit after we're done, and we can chat with you a bit. So we'll do that. Other than that, we would like to thank all the people that make this show possible, all the little people, the people who bring in the stuff, the people that help us set up the show, and most importantly, those of you who listen, because without you guys, this entire experience would just be stupid.
What?
So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike,
I'm Matt.
and we'll talk to you next time on episode 222 of the Coin Show podcast.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman. Tune in next time when the boys bring you another exciting episode. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, on our website at www.coinshowradio.com. You can also join our private Facebook group where everyone sees every post. Just search Facebook for Friends of the Coin Show and ask to join. If you'd like more, you can become a subscriber on Facebook or join our Patreon at www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. If you sign up at the $5 month level or higher, you'll have access to exclusive content on patreon.com on the off weeks, including the Not the Coin Show podcasts. Thanks for listening to the longest running coin podcast in the world of numismatics. This has been the one and only, the original. This has been the Coin Show podcast.
All right, boys, we are out. Let me get.
Did that really
us
go
up.
over an hour?
Yeah, buddy. Let's get it to the mixed use screen. I got to get the bottom bar out of here so that people can see your lovely faces, and then I have to adjust a couple things. 1 second, I'm coming, everyone. I know you're still here. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome, by the way.
Taffy's here
I know. I'll make
and
it-
live coin Q&A, so Kim is here.
I
Or
know. The guys are here. Guys, gals. Okay, coming in hot. Here we come. No, hold on. I got to move one more thing. Oh, I could do that once we go over here. Okay. Got to just move this chat box over so people can see what's going on. It's a little different with 3. There we go. There we go. Okay.
oh,
Hi, everybody. Hi.
hello everybody.
There we go. Okay, let me send that there. Okay, cool. Okay, let me scroll back through the chat. Ken Stew said, cool. Early would be better. Yeah, not midnight. Midnight's no bueno.
Hey, it was an idea. And remember this, it's midnight somewhere.
It's always midnight somewhere, but when it's midnight here, Matt's asleep.
Just saying.
So is Russ.
That was my point.
Either asleep or on a date.
And probably asleep on the date.
Let me go back to the chat. Say hi to everybody that's here. Taffy was here. Nice Nugs was here. Live Q&A was here. Pixel Crusher was here. Matt Porras was here. Paula was here. She says, hello, fellow coin nerds. Hello. So glad to have you guys here. Barry was here. T, the Silver Stacker, and Mrs. T were with us.
Mrs. T, the Silver Stacker.
Love those guys. Danny Day,
And
1949.
Paula, I'm glad you liked it.
Jack Young was here. Jack, thank you so much.
Mr. Young.
Mr. Young. He was talking about the when we were talking about that 1968 half. He said it was like that 1921 Pilgrim that he has. Yep, it's very similar.
Wow.
William Yates was here. Ron Dorland. Man, that Nutella coin he was talking about.
Oh, the Vegemite coin?
Yeah, man. Vegemite coin. That's nuts.
Gotta love Vegemite.
That's nuts. No, guys, I love that idea, Mike. I love this idea. We need to flesh it out. We'll have a meeting and we'll turn that into a thing. But yeah, Saturday nights, man. I think every other Saturday we can just get together and have kind of like an official.
Yeah, we could do the show
club
every other week, and then we can do just a club. We can have some fun.
We can get together even on like Zoom. We can just do a Zoom call. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Discord.
We can do Discord. We can do a bunch of different ways. Just look, it's up to us, and we can do it any way we want.
That's right. So and
so
Russ,
suggestions are welcome.
Russ, you actually made a really good point. I think that is one of the things that I hate the absolute most about going to Coin Clubs Live is our local coin club is run by the president, and all of the board members are lawyers. So these guys love to talk.
And
Sports rules. Oh yeah. So there's actually we had a thing in my local club. So you guys know that I'm the president of one of them. But
Right.
It's really like there's two clubs, but they're really the same club. They meet back to back weeks, and it's like a lot of the same guys. And in one of the clubs, the club that I'm the president of now, last year that we literally had like a 45-minute debate on what should be served at the banquet, like lake perch. Oh no, we need and I call it the great perch debate of 2022. And T the Silver Stacker is in that club with me, and him and I it was the worst thing ever. And so my new I now speed through business. I'm like, there's no business. We don't need to do anything.
Yes.
Let's just move on. We don't need to have debates about everything.
Well, the other thing too
Is there anybody with business? Thank you.
the other thing too is a lot of those clubs have to go through the business as part of their charter, which we need to write up a charter. And a lot of those clubs are not for profits, which may or may not be something we do. I don't think I want to charge people to be a member of our club.
I do. I want to extort people.
No.
I mean, no.
No.
That sounds terrible.
No,
I
I think we just want to be.
No, I don't think we need a lot of that stuff. It's
just
more fun to just kind of do it.
Yeah, but a lot of the business is actually like going through the numbers. I mean, I get all that, and a lot of that stuff was just so.
No, it's necessary, but Lord in heaven, is it tedious?
It is tedious. It's the worst. We had in Indianapolis, we had a pretty good club. They set up before the show, like an hour early. All the guys that would want to bring coins and set up could pay like $25 a year to have a table around the room, around the outside of the room, which was kind of cool, and they could set up with the coins for sale. It was pretty cool. And then they did an auction. We might be able to do some sort of auction stuff. I mean, we could do all sorts of fun things.
I think so.
Yeah.
Limitless possibilities.
I love it.
Well, that was kind of the point, is that it's something else that we can do. Because look, the show is great. I mean, we love the show.
Right.
But the show is kind of its own thing, and it does these things, and we want to do some other things.
Yeah, I agree.
Show's not going anywhere. We're not doing anything with the show, but we're just going to supplement the things that we do. Yeah, right. See, coin giveaway. There you go, Ron. I love it. See, we can do all sorts of stuff now. I love it. So that's cool. We're going to have to sit down, get together, have a Zoom meeting off the air, and hash out some of this. And Russ, I'm probably going to lean on you a little bit for this because I haven't been to one of my local club meetings in years. I'm a life member
I
of
gotcha.
my local club, but since you were hot and heavy, I may task you with putting together what we want to do and what we don't want to do. So
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think really one of the biggest things that I have a gripe with some of the local clubs is like there's not a lot of like education that goes on. And I find that I talk a lot, which is fine because I mean I like talking and like I know things and I don't mind sharing things,
Right.
but I would love to be able to do like, have people do like tell me what you like and then teach other people about what you like. Give
Right.
us, sign up for a 15-minute block of time, put together a little show, a little slideshow, and then
that's the best
tell
part.
us about what it is.
That is the best part. I've learned so much stuff about stuff I had no idea about from coin clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And the other cool thing is with the connections that we have and all the people that we know, we can get some great guests. It's much easier to get somebody come on.
It is way easier now.
Well, in a virtual format like this, it's really easy to send an email, say, "Hey, Jeff Garrett, like we have this. We would like you to come in and talk for 15 minutes." And good Lord, I can just imagine how much easier it is, and to actually get a guy like that to show up at your coin club and do the talk. So I'm gonna.
I think the biggest problem might be getting some of them to work within a 15 or 20 minute format.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna nominate that Jack Young gives us a talk about counterfeits. Just saying, he's here.
Yeah,
he is a group expert.
He is. So the possibilities are really limitless, and I really actually love this idea. So now we have to do our part to make it work. So
that's my niche.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we'll start
niece.
Figuring out the logistics behind it, and then expect that to start happening fairly soon, you guys. Awesome. Well, other than that,
did anybody see that the guy who plays Ben Franklin at all the shops is running for ANA board?
Oh, I did not, but that's awesome. I love seeing him and the Abe Lincoln guy.
Yeah, that's a guy who just really gives and gives.
You know what my favorite part is, though? I
watching him in line for a beer at one of the top.
No, my favorite part is seeing them in the hotel bars after in their street clothes.
Yes.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things. I love those guys. They're both actually really nice guys. I've hung out with them a time or two, so very nice guys. Very nice guys. Well, yeah, if any of you guys are still here and you guys know how to get a hold of us, Matt at coinshowradio.com, Mike at coinshowradio.com. I'll have to get Russ his own Russ at coinshowradio.com. Or club at coinshow. We'll figure it out.
I thought we already had clubs at coinshow.
We do. Yeah, maybe we can just use that. The eyebrows say we may not.
And I'll tell you what, we got a lot of people on YouTube right now.
Yeah, or Friends of the Coin Show. Friends of the Coin Show on Facebook. You guys get in there. That's a great way to get a hold of us. I'm in there every day. I know Mike's in there. If you had a question or a thought or just an idea for how we can kind of structure this or something that you want to see, we're going to listen. We're going to do our darndest to make this the coolest darn thing that you guys have seen. So as far as an online coin club goes, it sounds like a great idea.
And we're always going to celebrate good information. So with some of the people that we know, some of the networking that we have, we wanted a venue that we could do things outside of our YouTube creations that we could just kind of get together and collaborate.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's all about knowledge. It's all about spreading our passion and our nerdity. Yes, that's a word. I made it up.
I like that word.
Nerdity. Spreading our nerdity.
Full frontal nerdity.
Oh my gosh. I need a shirt that says that now. That may be the next thing we do at our merch store. Speaking of which,
that would be a big seller. Full frontal.
I'd wear that.
Oh, I know, right? That's a great one. Hold on. Let me get our merch store pulled up, because speaking of which, I did have a new product I put out.
Got a coin nerd shirt.
I surely do.
I love that coin nerd shirt. That was great.
I have a shirt for all my coin nerd friends now. Let me get it pulled up here. Full frontal nerdity. That's the best. This is our new shirt, guys. It says coin nerd with an arrow pointing upwards. And then on the back, you get to rep the show. So we're selling these on our website, coinshowradio.com. I've got a couple of them. Let me get it shot over here so you guys can see it. There it is, Coin Nerd. We have these on our website now. I have a couple. They seem really nice. When I make a new product, I always order a couple for myself just to make sure that it's something I want out there as far as the quality goes. But yeah, heck yeah, these are really cool. I fully plan on wearing these at the World's Fair of Money. Yeah, but Full Frontal Nerdity, that might be our next one. I think it's coming.
That one's really good. Like I said, if you say enough stuff, sooner or later you're going to say something.
That was good. All right, guys. Well, we have a lot to unpack from that.
I'm going to need therapy.
I know. I think so too. So thank you guys so much again especially those guys that hung out. You guys that hung out after. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much to Russ for coming out
Russ,
tonight, playing
Russ,
with us.
You're amazeballs.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Thanks. I'm also incredibly humble. If you haven't, if you don't know,
Incredibly humble.
You have a tattoo of a seated half on your arm. I love it. It's one of my favorite
darn
things.
tootin' I do.
I know. I love it. All right.
I also have a Libertas
He
Americana.
got us
on my
tonight's
back.
sponsor, so
And he's got Susan B. Anthony on his left butt cheek.
I sure do. I can make her dance.
Oh boy.
I just
All
can't.
right, guys.
All right.
All right.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us.